Welcome to the deep dive. Sometimes when we think about these huge tech shifts, we imagine, I don't know, gleaming labs or giant stages.
Right. Not always the case.
But the source material for today actually starts somewhere. Well, pretty normal.
Yeah, it's surprisingly normal. It kicks off at Charlie's Cafe. They actually call it a true touchstone for the company's culture. Kind of low-key, apparently, but historically significant.
How so?
Well, that's where things like Google Photos, even Waymo, supposedly got their start, those initial ideas.
Huh. Okay, so not just any cafe then.
Definitely not. And they're framing this new launch, Gemini Enterprise, as another historic Charlie's milestone.
So they're putting it on that same level. That's a big statement right off the bat. It signals this isn't just, another product update.
Exactly. It feels like they see it as foundational, and that's what we're digging into today, unpacking this Gemini Enterprise launch. They're positioning it as the new front door for AI in the workplace.
New front door. Okay.
And the argument behind it all is pretty bold. They're basically saying AI is hitting reset on the entire cloud market, like right now.
Resetting the cloud market, that's
Cloud.
significant. It implies the current stuff, the chatbots, the toolkits we've seen so far, they're not enough anymore.
That seems to be the argument, that you need a real platform transformation. AI needs to be woven into how businesses actually operate, not just bolted on.
Okay, so why now? What gives them the confidence to make that kind of claim?
Well, you got to look at the Google Cloud numbers, right? They just crossed a $50 billion annual revenue run rate. That was Q2.
50 billion? Okay, that's serious scale. Definitely a major player.
Yeah, and it's not just the headline number. The source points out they have 13 different product lines, each pulling in over $1 billion a year.
Wow, $13 billion babies. That shows breadth, right? Not just relying on one thing. Enterprises trust them across the board.
It shows maturity, definitely. But here's the kicker for me, the stat that explains why they're pushing this agent idea so hard right now. It's adoption. They say 65% of their existing cloud customers are already using their AI products in some way.
65%. So nearly two-thirds are already on board using AI.
Yeah, they're not trying to convince people to try AI. Their customer base is already engaged. They're launching this big platform upgrade to people who are, already in the ecosystem.
That makes a huge difference, launching into a warm market. Okay, so that adoption rate, it validates their whole approach. Let's break down this full stack strategy they talk about. It seems like they control things from the ground up.
Absolutely. It all starts with the foundation, the infrastructure layer, and this is the same massive global infrastructure that runs Google Search and YouTube.
So your enterprise AI is running on the same pipes that handled, what, billions of searches a day? That's robust.
Extremely robust. And a key difference is their hardware strategy. They use partner GPUs, they mentioned NVIDIA specifically, sure, but they also lean heavily on their own custom chips. The Tensor Processing Units, TPUs.
Ah, the TPUs. That's their sort of secret sauce, isn't it? Built just for AI math.
Exactly. And the source dives into the latest generation, called Ironwood.
And the performance claim.
It's pretty staggering. They're saying it delivers more than a 10x performance boost over the last gen, and it's going GA, general availability, very soon.
Okay, hold on. A 10x jump. What does that actually mean for a business using this stuff?
Well, it's not just a faster number on a slide. It fundamentally changes the economics. Think cost per inference. A 10x improvement means you can run bigger, smarter models faster without it costing a fortune or taking forever.
So for those AI agents that need to process tons of data instantly.
Right. It makes complex, real-time AI economically viable, not just technically possible. It moves it from maybe someday to we should be doing this now.
And that custom silicon advantage, that's why the cutting-edge players are on their cloud.
That's what the source explicitly states. 9 out of the top 10 AI labs, almost all the big AI startups, the unicorns, they're Google Cloud customers because they need that specific kind of power. Standard hardware doesn't cut it for them.
Okay, so controlling the whole stack, chips, data centers, models, gives them huge optimization advantages. But does it also mean, vendor lock-in?
That's the critical question, isn't it? The source obviously highlights the benefits of seamless integration. But yeah, if you build your core workflows around TPU optimization, moving that somewhere else becomes a massive headache.
Right, it's a trade-off. Performance versus flexibility, something to keep in mind. Okay, let's move up the stack. Layer 2, research.
Yeah, and this isn't just engineering tweaks. They emphasize this as like Nobel Prize level science coming out of Google Research and DeepMind, pushing boundaries in robotics, health, self-driving cars.
And they back that up.
They do. They point to actual Nobel recognition. Michel Devoret, who's their quantum team chief scientist, was honored for work he did back in the 80s that actually paved the way for their quantum computing efforts today.
Wow. Okay.
And of course, Demis Hassabis and John Vincel won the Nobel in chemistry just last year for AlphaFold.
AlphaFold, right, the protein folding thing. That wasn't just theory, was it?
No, not at all. It shows their AI can model the real physical world. That has huge implications for drug discovery, material science, things way beyond just text generation. And AlphaFold is actually a product on their cloud platform now, being used by researchers.
So the research directly feeds the products.
Exactly. They list other DeepMind projects too. AlphaGenome, Gemini Robotics, WeatherNext. It's presented as this continuous engine of fundamental science, creating proprietary tech for the platform.
Which then leads us to layer 3, the actual foundation models. They claim Gemini is leading the pack.
Well, they point to metrics. Gemini 2.5 Pro, they say, has been at the top of the El Marina leaderboards for 6 months straight, both for text and vision tasks.
And Marina, remind me.
It's a big community benchmark. Tests models on more realistic, conversational, complex reasoning stuff. So leading there suggests strong all-around practical performance. It's not just summarizing, it's understanding and reasoning across different types of information.
Text, images, video soon.
Seems like it. And that multimodal strength shows in their wider portfolio. They've got VEO for video generation, Imagen for images, and that fun one, Nano Banana.
Ah, right.
Well,
which is actually Gemini 2.5 flash image for quick image edits.
Yeah, apparently very popular. And this portfolio has attracted a lot of developers. Over 30 million have built stuff using their generative models.
30 million developers, that's a massive ecosystem.
It is. But the number that really blew my mind, the one showing the sheer volume of usage, is what they call the token explosion.
Token explosion. Okay, sounds dramatic.
It kind of is. Back in July, they announced processing 980 trillion tokens monthly, which is already a huge number.
Trillion.
But now, they're processing over 1.3 quadrillion tokens quarterly, monthly. The time frame wasn't perfectly clear, but the jump from trillions to quadrillions is immense.
Quadrillion tokens. It's hard to even get your head around that number. What does it signify?
It means AI isn't just experimental anymore. It's being used for real work, processing massive amounts of actual company data, generation, analysis, mission-critical stuff.
But processing quadrillions of tokens, that raises huge questions, doesn't it? Security, privacy. How do you even audit that volume of data flow?
Exactly. It puts incredible pressure on the governance layer. You absolutely need robust controls at that scale.
Okay, so if the full stack, the hardware, the science, the models, provides the raw horsepower, then Gemini Enterprise is designed to be the sophisticated control system, directing that power inside a company.
Precisely. They're drawing a line in the sand, saying simple toolkits aren't enough for real transformation. Gemini Enterprise is pitched as this comprehensive, secure, integrated platform. The whole point is connecting AI to your actual context, your workflows, your people.
Right. More than just a collection of models.
Much more. It pulls together 6 core components into one system, kind of an operating system for AI in the enterprise.
Okay, let's walk through those 6. Component 1.
Component 1 is the brains. Basically, you get immediate access to their best, most advanced Gemini models. The core intelligence is always state-of-the-art.
Makes sense. The engine itself. Component 2.
The workbench. This is their framework for actually building the AI agents. It's powered by Vertex AI, their machine learning platform. And the key here is democratization.
Meaning not just for elite coders.
Right. They want marketing folks, finance teams, HR, everyone to be able to build and orchestrate these agents.
Oh.
Through a mix of things. Powerful no-code tools for non-developers, standard APIs for the engineers, and this open source thing called the Agent Development Kit, the ADK.
ADK. Okay, so that's like the standardized toolkit for building these agents internally.
Yeah, think of it like the Lego bricks and instructions for building secure, standardized agents that work across the company.
Got it. Component 3.
Component 3 is the task force. These are like pre-built, ready-to-go agents for common tasks. Think deep research agent, data insights agent, coding agent.
Ah, so you don't have to build everything from scratch. You can get some immediate value.
Exactly. Lowers the barrier to entry, helps show some quick ROI, which is always important.
Definitely. Okay, component 4. This sounds critical.
Component 4, the context, is arguably the most important and maybe the hardest part. An AI agent is pretty dumb if it doesn't understand your specific company, right?
Right. It needs access to our data, our systems.
Precisely. So this component is all about connecting the platform directly to company data wherever it happens to live.
And the list of integrations they mentioned, it's pretty extensive.
It really is. Google Workspace, obviously, but also Microsoft 365, SharePoint, crucially Oracle and SAP.
Oracle and SAP, that's huge. Those are the core systems for finance logistics.
Exactly. Connecting to those is what lets the AI move from just generating reports to actually initiating transactions, automating real workflows. That's the game changer. They also list Slack, ServiceNow, Workday, JRA, Confluence, BigQuery. Pretty much covers the modern enterprise stack.
Wow, that integration piece is massive. And it's not just about linking to databases, right? They mentioned personalization.
Yeah, that's part of the context layer too, a personalization framework that learns your specific context, the data sources you use, the tools you prefer, the people you collaborate with.
So the agent's responses get tailored to me and my role, not just generic company info.
That's the goal. Makes it much more useful day to day. Okay, component 5, governance and security.
The one every CIO and CISO loses sleep over.
You bet. This promises centralized visibility, security controls, auditing, and governance for all the agents running in the company. And critically, they say this applies even if some agents are built using models from other providers.
Interesting. So they want to be the central control plane for all enterprise AI, regardless of the underlying model.
Seems like it. A smart strategic move. And they emphasize compliance, meeting data sovereignty rules in different countries, achieving IL5 authorization from the U.S. government.
IL5, that's for sensitive government data, right? That's a big trust signal, especially for public sector or regulated industries.
Huge signal. Plus, they include specific AI security features like model armor.
Model armor, like a shield for the AI.
Kind of. It's designed to protect against specific AI attacks, prompt injections, adversarial inputs, and also helps ensure the models stay within their safety and compliance boundaries. It's like AI guardrails.
Okay, makes sense. And the last piece, component 6.
Component 6 is the partner ecosystem, essentially an agent marketplace. Users can find and deploy specialized agents built by third-party developers and partners.
So you're not limited to just what Google builds or what your own team builds. You can tap into a wider market of solutions.
Exactly. Create scale, fosters innovation. So you put all 6 together. The brains, the workbench, the task force, the context, the governance, and the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And you can see they're really trying to build a complete operating environment for enterprise AI.
It's ambitious. And to show how it all works together, the source gave a really detailed demo, right? Using a marketing campaign example.
Yeah, this demo was really effective at showing the orchestration power. Not just one agent doing one thing, but multiple agents working together, coordinated by the platform.
What was the scenario?
A marketing manager at a party supply company. They're planning their massive Halloween campaign, biggest time of the year for them.
Yeah.
Normally, this takes days, maybe weeks, right?
Yeah.
Coordinating across departments, emails flying everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Total headache.
So the solution they showed was this campaign's agent blueprint. It acts like the project manager, the central orchestrator, and it connects and directs 4 other specialized agents.
Okay, so one main agent controlling others.
Right. It calls on a market research agent, a media agent, a comms agent, and an inventory agent.
Yeah.
This is that workbench concept in action, linking up these specialized task forces.
Got it. So how did the demo play out? Step 1.
Step 1, deep research and insights. The main campaigns agent kicks things off by calling the Deep Research Agent API. The source makes a point of saying this task scouring market data, competitor analysis, usually takes humans multiple hours, even days.
And the agent?
Did it in 3 to 4 minutes.
Wow. Okay. And what did it find? Anything useful?
Actually, yeah. Very specific, actionable stuff. It flagged 2 big trends for the party supplier. DIY costumes were getting really popular, and there was a huge theme emerging around space, sci-fi, and fantasy.
Okay, specific insights. That drives the campaign direction. What next?
That insight immediately triggered step 2, inventory automation. Because the space, sci-fi, fantasy theme was so strong, the agent cross-referenced that with current stock levels. And boom, it flagged a critical shortage for their popular Galactic Ranger costume line.
Projecting demand based on the trend found a gap.
Exactly. Projected demand was 25% higher than what they had in stock. And here's where it gets interesting. The agent didn't just send an alert.
What did it do?
It identified the need to create purchase orders and flagged that it needed to do this in ServiceNow, connecting to that external system.
Whoa. Okay, so it's initiating a financial transaction, basically. Does it just do it?
No, and this is crucial. The source stressed that the platform checks permissions, validates the need, and then waits for human approval before actually creating that PO in ServiceNow.
Okay, human in the loop for the important stuff. That builds trust.
Absolutely essential, especially for finance and supply chain actions. So once the manager approves,
The workflow just keeps going.
yep, automatically moves to step 3, communication and kickoff. The comms agent jumps in, drafts a tailored email to all the store managers telling them about the incoming Galactic Ranger stock, and even schedules a campaign kickoff meeting for Thursday, putting it right on their calendars via workspace integration.
Slick. Automating the internal comms piece, too.
And then, step 4, media creation. The media agent takes the approved theme space, sci-fi, and the brand guidelines, and starts generating social media assets. It used that nano banana model.
Gemini 2.5 flash image.
Right, to edit existing stock photos, keeping the product details accurate, but giving them that sci-fi vibe.
Cool. And they used video, too?
They did. Showcase VEO3, the text-to-video model. The agent took an image of a group dancing, animated it, and generated a short video clip complete with intergalactic disco music.
Intergalactic disco music. Nice touch.
Huh.
Yeah.
But just think about that whole sequence.
It's incredibly complex.
Right. One agent orchestrating market research, inventory analysis, initiating a PO in another system, handling internal comms and scheduling, and generating multimodal creative assets.
All in minutes. Across maybe 4 or 5
Well,
different systems?
That's the difference they're highlighting. It's not just a tool simplifying one task. It's an AI operating system managing an entire complex workflow. That's a whole other level.
Okay, so that campaign's agent demo is impressive, but someone has to build these things, right? How are they enabling developers to actually create these complex agent systems?
Yeah, good question. They showed a specific demo on building agents with natural language. It used something called the Gemini CLI.
CLI, command line interface.
For developers. Exactly. It's an open source agentic terminal. The idea is the developer doesn't start coding from line 1. They can give it a high-level prompt.
Like what?
Something like, I need to build an inventory agent based on this design document here. Can you create the plan?
Okay, but how does it know it's in the design document?
That's where this MCP server comes, in the Model Context Protocol server. It allows the CLI, the agent, to actually read and understand internal documents. Yeah. In the demo, it analyzed a complex Word doc outlining the specs for the inventory agent.
So MCP is like the agent's access point to internal knowledge. It reads the requirements doc.
And then generates a detailed step-by-step plan for how to build the agent based on that specific documentation, not just guessing.
Okay, the developer reviews the plan. Then what?
If the developer approves the plan, the CLI then uses that other piece, the ADK CLI, the Agent Development Kit command line, to actually help implement and deploy the agent code locally. The LLM helps generate the complex code and syntax needed.
So it writes the tricky parts.
It assists heavily, and they really emphasize this, it's always asking for permission. The developer is always in control, always has the final say, approves each step. It's a co-pilot, not autopilot.
That control aspect is key for adoption, I imagine. Okay, so that's for building agents. What about other tools? They mentioned vids?
Right, video transformation with vids. This is less about agent building and more about communication. It takes existing stuff, like presentation slides, maybe those Halloween kickoff slides, and helps turn them into short, engaging videos.
Oh, interesting. Like for internal training or announcements.
Exactly, speeding up the creation of internal video content. And apparently it's catching on. They said 2.5 million people use vids every month.
Wow, that's high adoption. What can it do?
It has features like editable scripts. You can choose preset avatars or voiceovers. And it integrates VEO, the text-to-video model, directly inside it.
So I could be making a training video and just type, create a clip of a skeleton dancing to 80s horror music.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And drop that right into your vids project. Makes internal comms potentially a lot more dynamic and, well, fun.
Definitely more engaging than another slide deck.
Oh.
Okay, they also mentioned some new advanced agents for data and conversations.
Yeah, a couple of important ones. First, the new data science agent, which is in preview. This is aimed squarely at data professionals.
What problem does it solve for them?
A huge one. Data wrangling. Cleaning, prepping, transforming raw data so it's actually usable for analysis. That often takes up like 80% of a data scientist's time.
80%. Just getting the data ready.
It's often the biggest bottleneck. So this agent aims to automate a lot of that ingestion and wrangling. It also helps with exploring the data and even generating multi-step plans for building complex models.
So it frees up the data scientists to actually do the science part, the analysis and insights?
That's the idea. And they mentioned big customers already using it. Morrison's, Vodafone, Walmart. Suggests it's delivering real value and speeding up data workflows.
Makes sense. And the other type? conversational agents.
Right, the next generation conversational agents. These are for customer-facing interactions, website chatbots, call center AI, mobile apps, even point-of-sale systems.
The public face of the agent economy, in a way.
Exactly. And technically, they sound pretty advanced. There's a low-code visual builder, support for over 40 languages, and they highlighted the voice quality. Said it's incredibly natural sounding, can handle different accents, background noise, without falling apart. Plus, it has deep personalization through conversational memory.
Meaning it remembers who I am and what we talked about last time.
Yeah, so you don't have to start from scratch every single time you interact. It remembers context, preferences, past issues, makes the whole experience feel much smoother.
That alone would be a huge improvement for most chatbot interactions. Any examples of it working?
They gave the Cumbersbake example. Their chatbot, named Benet, apparently handles over 2 million chats and manages to fully resolve 70% of the inquiries without needing a human agent.
70% resolution, that's
Right.
really high. That frees up human agents for the really tough cases.
Totally transformative for a contact center operation. That's the level of capability they're aiming for with these next-gen agents.
Okay, so we've got the infrastructure, the models, the workbench, the context, the governance, these specialized agents. Where is this all heading? What's the big picture?
The big picture, according to the source, is laying the foundation for the agent economy.
Agent economy. Sounds futuristic.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But the core idea is enabling a world where specialized software agents, built by Google, by partners, by customers, can not only communicate, but also transact with each other autonomously.
Okay, agents doing business with other agents. How does
Yeah.
that even work? You need
Yeah.
standards, right?
Exactly. And that's where they introduced two key open protocols.
Okay.
First, the agent-to-agent protocol, A2A. This, along with that MCP server we talked about, defines the standard way for agents to talk to each other reliably and securely, like a common language.
The handshake between agents. Okay.
But talking is one thing. Doing business requires handling money. And that's where the second protocol comes in, and this one feels really significant. The Agent Payments Protocol, AP2.
EP2 for agent payments.
Yeah, a brand new open protocol specifically designed for secure, audible transactions and payments between agents.
Okay, pause there. Open protocol for agent payments. Who's involved in creating this? Just Google.
Not even close. This is the fascinating part. They developed AP2 with over 100 partners. And look at the names. American Express, Coinbase, Intuit, MasterCard, PayPal, Visa, Salesforce.
Wow, basically all the major players in payments and finance, plus key enterprise platforms like Salesforce. Why are they all collaborating on this?
Because, presumably, they see a future where a huge volume of commerce happens programmatically between software systems without a human clicking approve every single time.
Right, like that campaigns agent needing to pay for the inventory via ServiceNow.
Exactly. AP2 is the proposed plumbing to make that happen securely. To allow that agent to verify funds via Visa, execute the payment through ServiceNow, and have the whole thing be traceable and compliant. That requires deep integration and trust across the financial ecosystem.
It really does sound like they're laying the groundwork for a different kind of digital commerce. More autonomous, more B2B transactions happening purely between software.
That seems to be the vision, and they're pointing to early successes, real ROI, in their enterprise customer success stories. HEA Healthcare. They're piloting a Gemini solution for patient shift handoffs between nurses. Critical process often takes a lot of time, the estimate, saving millions of hours annually across their system.
Millions of hours for nurses. That translates directly to better patient care. That's huge ROI in healthcare.
Absolutely. Then there's Best Buy, using conversational AI for customer service. They saw a 200% jump in customers rescheduling deliveries themselves using the AI. And it resolved 30% more common questions, price matching, recycling info without needing a human.
Again, freeing up human agents, improving customer experience. Any finance examples?
Macquarie Bank. They used AI to reduce false positive alerts in their client protection systems by 40%.
False positives. Those are huge time sink in compliance departments, right? Chasing down alerts that turn out to be nothing.
Exactly. Reducing that noise by 40% means their human analysts can focus on the real risks. And interestingly, they even shared internal Google results.
Eating their own dog food, so to speak.
Pretty much. Nearly half of all new code written in Google is now initially generated by AI, then reviewed and approved by engineers. And their cloud sales team saw a 14% increase in converting leads into opportunities by using AI agents in the sales process.
14% lift in sales conversion. That's a number any sales VP would notice. Okay, so enterprise wins. What about really large-scale stuff?
That's where the LA28 Olympics partnership comes in. They frame this as AI at true global scale.
LA28, okay, that's going to be massive.
Unbelievably massive. Largest peacetime gathering in history, they said. 49 venues, 15 million tickets, 150,000 workers daily, hundreds of languages. The logistics are mind-boggling.
So how will Gemini Enterprise help?
Two main ways. First, logistics. Providing secure, instant access to critical information for all those workers. Imagine a volunteer needing real-time, multilingual instructions in a specific location during a chaotic moment.
Yeah, it needs to be fast, accurate, contextual.
Exactly. The other angle is the fan experience. Using Gemini to personalize things for every single attendee and remote viewer. Tailoring info based on whether you love track and field or swimming or baseball. Making sure the app, the directions, the alerts are relevant to you.
Personalizing the Olympics experience for millions, that's ambitious.
Very. But none of this happens without people who know how to build and manage these systems, which leads to their upskilling commitment.
Right. You need the trained workforce. They're working with the big consulting firms too, right? Accenture, Deloitte, PwC.
Yeah, leveraging that partner ecosystem to help companies actually implement all this. But they're also launching huge free training programs directly.
Free training? Like what?
Two big ones. Google Skills, which offers broad training across Gemini Enterprise and DeepMind Tech. But the headline grabber is the GEAR program.
GEAR?
Stands for Gemini Enterprise Agent Ready. It's described as an educational sprint designed to empower 1 million new developers to build and deploy agents using their platform.
1 million developers. That's a massive number. Why train so many people for free?
Well, it creates the skilled labor pool they need for their platform to succeed globally, right? It removes a major bottleneck to adoption, the lack of trained people. It's a strategic investment in their own ecosystem's growth.
Makes sense. Create the demand, but also create the supply of talent.
Exactly. And for companies with the really tough, unique challenges, they're creating Team Delta.
Team Delta sounds elite.
That's the idea. An elite squad of Google's own AI engineers who will embed directly within customer organizations to help tackle the most complex deployment and customization jobs.
So support at all levels. Free training for the masses, elite SWAT teams for the hardest problems. It's a comprehensive approach.
It really shows they understand this isn't just selling software, it's about driving fundamental operational change, and that requires deep support. Hashtag to hack outro.
Okay, so if we just pull back for a second and look at the whole picture, this launch, Gemini Enterprise, it really feels like a deliberate shift, doesn't it?
Definitely. It's moving beyond just offering AI models or tools in isolation. It's about providing a complete, integrated platform designed to manage and orchestrate entire business processes using AI.
Yeah, it's less like selling ingredients and more like delivering a whole automated factory tailored for different parts of the business.
That's a good analogy. And central to that vision, maybe the most forward-looking piece, is this concept of the agent economy, built on that agent payments protocol, AP2.
Right, enabling secure, automated financial transactions between software agents, using standards developed with Visa, MasterCard, Amex, PayPal.
Which brings us to a really interesting question to leave our listeners with, something to chew on.
Okay, let's hear it.
If this vision plays out, if software agents governed by protocols like AP2 can reliably and securely handle complex financial transactions across different enterprise systems, potentially without constant human oversight for routine stuff.
Yeah.
What industry or what specific business function that currently relies heavily on human intermediaries for processing complex transactions or ensuring compliance? What gets fundamentally redefined first?
Where does that autonomous transactional workflow really take hold first, beyond just making things faster, but actually changing the structure?
Yeah. Think about areas like large-scale B2B procurement, complex international trade finance, maybe even certain types of compliance auditing. Where do you see the first truly self-managing agent workflow disrupting an established human-centric process?
It feels like the pieces are being put in place right now. The plumbing for a potentially very different way of doing business is being laid with things like AP2. Lots to think about.
Definitely.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.